this heaven?
No. It's Iowa.
From high school to international wrestling, on the mat and beyond, this is the Potentially Dangerous podcast with the guys from IAwrestle.
If you're a fighter, you like a fight. If you're an American, you like a fight. If you're an Iowa Hawkeye, you know you're going to get a fight.
Subscribe to our podcast on iTunes and all your podcast-friendly apps. And follow us on social media platforms at IAwrestle. Time to strap it up and get to the show.
All right, welcome to Potentially Dangerous. IAwrestle. We are getting pumped up for the Night of Conflict. If you don't have tickets yet, you can check that out at nightofconflict.com. We've got tons of press releases that have been coming out for the boys side of things. We just announced two girls matchups, so pumped to get that underway. Brand new event. If you're not familiar with it yet on our social media, we are doing an all-girls duel on Friday, September 25th. And then the boys will come back on September 26th in Sioux City, Iowa. Get all information on Night of Conflict. I don't need to hype it up on here. But what we wanted to do, since we are doing a special event with the girls here, there's tons of momentum. We're bringing the guy in that knows everything about girls wrestling. He does the girls rankings for us. And this thing is always, the amount of girls that we have in Iowa are just continuing to grow. So it's going to get harder and harder for him to do this. And I think when I gave him this idea to, hey, let's do a girls only event, maybe some hesitation from a lot of people, but for you, like, hey, like, let's get something going. And I think we now have enough girls in Iowa to pick from now, because the last few years, there are a lot of first timers. So Lars Underbakke joins us in studio from West Liberty all the way. So a little bit of a drive for you to come in. So yeah, thanks for coming on, man. So this, I guess, put in perspective, from someone that loves and has been following girls wrestling here the last couple of years, the significance of this, because we've done a couple matches, but to put 10 together, not just in the Iowa wrestling landscape, but how about like the national scene of being able to put on an event like this?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's huge. I'm excited. We've always tried to have one or two girls matches in most of our events. We kind of did that from the beginning. We always tried to have some girls in there, but to do standalone, girls only, prime time night event, they have some tournaments and different events going on, but I think this is a whole new idea, new thing, especially in Iowa. I mean, this is going to be a big deal.
And when I didn't even ask you on this, I just assumed, since we are a month away from, well, a month and a half, I guess, from high school season, hopefully starting here in Iowa, people are, should it be freestyle? Should it be folk style? Yep. And where I think where a lot of these girls are coming from, and from my standpoint, was like a lot of these girls probably don't know a ton about freestyle yet. Some of them do, some of them don't, right? But I think to put it on an even playing field, folk style was the way to go. What has been the feedback? Because this has been all you, man. So what's been kind of the feedback from the girls when do they even care about the rules? They just want to wrestle.
A lot of them just want to wrestle. We've got asked a few times. There's been a couple people that have asked if it'll be freestyle, but especially when we said it was modified. We're doing the push out. It is folk style. We're still doing the push out, things like that. Really haven't had any complaints. I think everybody's all in. And yeah, I think a lot of them, the newer ones maybe haven't had that experience. There's some, amazing girls that have done a lot of freestyle, but a lot of these girls are, just getting into it. So haven't really had anybody, complain about folk style.
It does. It's when I have seen other tournaments, that are folk style, they usually have that modified rule because it's a little bit easier to kind of control. So, all right. So we've already announced the first two matchups that we have announced when we put the press release out. So talk us through that one, because that's a nationally ranked matchup right away, Iowa versus Nebraska.
Yeah, really excited to have Millie Peach in our event. Definitely one of the top girls in Iowa. Currently ranked, I believe, number 8 in the country by USA Wrestling. Really hasn't been challenged in Iowa. So right away, to get her in was key, but to be able to get her a match that, somebody that I can actually come in and wrestle with her. Had a girl that was ranked in the top 10 as well that I thought was going to come in, ended up getting injured. Got a hold of Zariah George out of Nebraska State champ. She's currently ranked 21st in the country. And right away, she didn't even hesitate. She was all on board. She was pumped to wrestle. So I'm excited to see Millie with, really good competition on the national stage. Give her that chance. I think that's going to be a great matchup.
And because she probably with Fargo didn't really get that
Right.
chance, right? To just keep climbing that. What is the landscape of Nebraska girls wrestling? Is it comparative to Iowa?
Yeah,
currently?
I think it's, it's growing. They're trying to do what they can. I think it's similar. And Zariah's got some good wins, stuff like that. So I think it'll be a good matchup. And, Millie, the other thing with Millie is she's playing varsity football for Iowa Valley right now.
No, wow.
Yeah. So when I talked to her and her coach, Jeremy Kriegel, it was like, can she do the event? And, she's like, yeah, I'm going to talk to my football coach. We'll make it happen. I know she really wants to wrestle at the next level. So this was an opportunity for her to show off her skills this year on a bigger stage since Fargo didn't happen. So,
okay. So the national ranked matchup that got jumped in. So what other matchups? What was the next other matchup that we got?
The other one we announced was Meridian Snicker from Waukon.
Yeah.
2-time state runner up against Emma Grimm. So she was a state runner-up last year, was an AAU state champion last year. Emma's been in some of our events before out of Osage. So 2 Northeast Iowa girls coming all the way to Western Iowa to battle it out.
Now I looked at the preseason rankings, and so she's coming up to Russell Grimm. Are they, because they were in the rankings? You've got Snicker at what, 20?
So Snicker wrestled 20 last year and Grimm 26.
Okay.
And so Snicker's kind of coming up to meet her. She's not cutting much weight. Emma's right in her ballpark where she's at, maybe cutting just a little bit, hopefully not too bad. But Meridian just wanted a good match. She was ready to go. So
good. Okay. All right. So let's get to the other one. So we've got looking at 10 to 12 matchups. So let's just go down the line here. Let's get these out and figure out what you like about each one. And give a little bit of tidbits of each person of kind of what their background is. Because women's wrestling, like, I guess the storylines aren't there for each individual. So a lot of probably a lot of boys wrestling fans on here, college fans. So why should people watch these matchups?
Yeah, I think there's going to be some good ones. Another big one we have coming up, Alexis Ross. You can see her on the screen here. She's on our logo and everything for the Night of Conflict out of Fort Dodge. So she got 3rd as a freshman last year. Definitely the best weight at the state. That was a crazy bracket at the state tournament. Alexis got 3rd as a freshman. She's going to be taking on Reagan Griffith, wrestled for Waukon the last few years. Her dad actually is now the, I believe, principal at North Fayette Valley. Okay. So she's in the middle. She was Waukon, but she got 3rd last year as well. So she's coming over to wrestle her. So, like I said, 2 third-place finishers, some dynamic wrestlers. So pretty exciting match there. We've got a couple of matches, some little girls, the small weights here. We did have Riley Radish out of Waukee was in the event, ended up having to back out. But in her place, Raylan Streelow out of Cedar Falls is coming in. She got 6th at 106 pounds last year. I know she's been working really hard, working with Immortal. So she's been working Cruz right away. Cruz Arhos was like, hey, if you got a spot, we want this girl in. So she made her way in, and she's coming up to meet Olivia Hama. Lily Hama, as most people that know her would call her, out of Davenport Central. So she got 5th at 113 last year. So a couple place winners coming in.
Did those weights clear out, or are they playing?
No, actually, 106 is pretty much back. But then you've got, we're always dealing with. So part of this is it's a Friday night.
Yep.
So we've got volleyball tournaments going for some of these girls. Yep. We've got cross country meets. Ella Schmidt, nationally ranked at 106, but she's got cross country going on. She couldn't miss this one. She's not able to make it. So there's some juggling. We have a lot of girls out for volleyball. Like Abby McIntyre's maybe the top girl in Iowa is out for, it's her homecoming weekend, things like that. She really wanted to be able to participate. But
yeah, I can see that being, with football, when our events, if we do a Friday night event, like it's like the 80 pounders and on playing football, right? Yep. So there's no heavyweights really in the Night of Conflict, which I'm assuming a lot of people understand. Obviously, they're playing football. So, but with the girls, they cross country, volleyball, and some of them maybe cheerleaders.
I had another one that plays football that couldn't do it because of football. Millie Peach is skipping her game to do it. I have a dynamic freshman out of Western Iowa, Izzy Deeds. I was trying to get in.
Okay.
She's playing football as well, so she's not able to make it this year. But.
Okay. All right, so let's go to anything else on that matchup. Sounds like two girls just looking to, put a name, get their name out there.
Yeah, Hannah's been around. A lot of people would know her from AAU, state, different things like that. She's been on some national teams and teams that have traveled a lot, but Streelow's really kind of the unknown. She came into state last year, had a good tournament placed. Like I say, she's been working a lot, so I'm excited to see her get her chance against somebody a little bit more well-known.
Yep. Where are we heading next? So put us like in weight classes too for us, just so people.
Yeah. So that one's at like 115 pounds. We also have another one at 110 pounds. So Jalen Goodale out of Osage, a popular, the Goodale name out of Osage
in
here.
the family or like?
I think it's a relative. I don't know exactly how it works out, but I want to say it's a cousin to like Trent and Thatcher and those guys.
Okay.
So she placed at 106 last year. So we got a Western Iowa girl here, Addison Luddenquist out of Southwest Valley. So Addie hasn't been wrestling a lot. She's just, I think it's her second year. She really started beginning of last year, had a great year, placed 5th at the state tournament. And they're really chomping at the bit to get more matches. She really wants to learn. She's trying to get more experience. So got her in, got Goodale. So
she has her brother wrestled, right?
Yeah, and her dad, I believe, was a Division I wrestler and helps coach out.
What's her brother's name? I'm trying to remember here.
Oh man, you put me on the spot. Her dad's Matt. Her brother is, I can't remember.
I remember watching him. I remember watching him down at the.
Solid wrestler, but I can't think of his name.
I remember the last name. That's all that matters. Yeah, he has a brother and wife's from Corning, Southwest Valley now, I guess. Yep. But anyway, so sorry to interrupt you there.
No, that's all right. So I think two girls, like I say, both place winners. I think just looking for a chance to kind of put themselves on the next stage, get in front of some college coaches. Definitely some people with a passion for it. So should be an exciting match. Then we'll go up. We got a whole bunch of girls in the state right now in that like 120 to 135 range. So I got a few matches in there and some others that couldn't do it. Sydney Park is somebody who've had events before. She had surgery after the season last year. Yeah. She's just kind of getting back on the mat. Really hasn't went live yet. So she's not able to do it, but had all kinds of girls in that range looking for a match. Got one right out of Sioux City. So obviously we love having some Western Iowa flair as well. We're giving them a chance to showcase at the event. We're giving them a chance for the wrestlers to get on the stage. So Ureli, I believe it is, Ureli Morales out of Sioux City East, Coach Cologne got a hold of me. He's like, hey, we'd love to have her in the event. She placed 5th last year as well at 120. And then Sophie Barnes. Yeah. So a lot of people know Stevie Barnes out of Underwood. His sister Sophie actually goes to Lewis Central, and she placed 5th as well. So one placed 5th at 120. Sophie placed 5th at 126. They're going to be matching up a great Western Iowa match here. A couple place winners. Should be a pretty even match, I believe. So,
and that's another thing that I've been thinking about with right now, like Northeast Iowa is women's wrestling is really growing up there, right? Oh, yeah. Yep. I mean, you just announced that Waverly's got a head coach, like they just allotted for that, right?
Allotted for a girls club coach, and they're looking for trying to get approved for a girls high school coach as well.
So I mean, they're all in, right?
Yeah. I mean, Denver's got huge numbers. Cresco's got huge numbers. Osage is growing like crazy.
Colfax,
Charles City. Yep. Well, Colfax down in this range. Got a few of those girls coming up yet on our card here.
Yeah. So this event, what I've been telling people out in Sioux City of what, they're like, well, why, people are just like, why Sioux City? Well, this is an opportunity for hopefully, right, is they hear about the card and, parents are maybe on the fringe, or maybe they have daughters that have just like Goodale. I mean, in the family, Lundquist, you're talking about all these different names that probably grew up watching their brothers wrestle, like come out to the event and just see what it's all about. And it's just a good opportunity to grow women's wrestling out there in Western Iowa. So I guess, we'll see what shows up. All right. So what's the next one here? So that's a Western Iowa battle.
Yeah. 2 Western Iowa girls, kind of in that same weight class range. We just talked about Colfax Mingo. Coach Aaron Humes got that program just going crazy. I think they had over 20 girls, right around 20 girls last year. So Mariah Webster stepped in, wrestled the War at West Gym for us.
Yeah.
Here this spring. She's coming back.
She's a late addition, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was we had somebody scratch right at the last second. It was a couple days before, and she didn't even hesitate. She just wanted to wrestle.
Yeah.
She's coming back into our event. She's wrestling against Anna Sondel out of Boone.
Okay.
This is a name, again, anybody who's followed girls wrestling over the last, however many years through AAU and USA and all the little kids tournaments. Anna's been around. She's a name a lot of people are familiar with. Didn't have the state tournament she wanted last year, finished in the round of 12. But these two have wrestled a decent amount, kind of grown up, Boone, Colfax, not that far away from each other. So I'm excited. I actually think this is going to be one of our better matchups. I think it's just even two girls that have some experience, maybe didn't get the results they wanted at the state tournament last year, but definitely some talented wrestlers.
How did this one get put together?
Yeah, I mean, part of it was I wanted to give Mariah a chance too. She helped us out last year. She's a real solid wrestler. I contacted Coach right away. I said, hey, what do you got? She went back in. She did. And then Coach Overton from Boone reached out, and he was hungry to get some people in the event. We reached Tanner Harvey's going to be in the boys side. Yeah. I think we already announced that one. And then Anna really wanted in the event as well. So it just seemed like a natural fit for her and Mariah to meet up. Like I say, they're just even matched, kind of that same style. I just think it's going to be a great match.
Boone's getting aggressive, man. Like they're Ross and Overton, and there's a lot of people that are helping them out. But I know that they brought in Rachel Waters for a camp. Yep. They've been doing as many practices as they can with the whole COVID deal. The girls wrestling in Boone, that area, that's where I grew up. So right. I know that there's lots of farm girls out there that should be coming out for wrestling too. So that's good news to get Boone in there. All right, what's the next matchup?
They're hungry. So I think next one probably is actually another one I'm excited about. Morgan Griffin out of Sioux Central.
Okay.
So again, kind of Northwest flavor there. Got third last year at 170 pounds. She actually wrestled like 160 all year. Wasn't a weight at state, so she kind of juggled between 52, 70, went up, still got third. A real good wrestler. And then another Colfax Mingo girl, so Maggie Schroeder out of Colfax Mingo, placed last year at 170 as well. Again, Coach Hume wanted all of them. He asked for matches for, I think, about every girl he had.
Yeah.
So we tried to get a few in. I love what they're doing. And these girls just wanted to wrestle. They don't care who it is. They're willing to change weights, do whatever they needed to do. They were all pretty hungry for a match. So I think, talking to them, Morgan kind of always wanted to wrestle Maggie too. Yeah. So I think it's going to be another great matchup. And like I say, a couple more state place winners. This is one of those weights that did clear out. You know what I mean? Some of these bigger girls were seniors, things like that. Kendall Clark won the weight last year. I believe she's a volleyball player, different things, so you're kind of fighting some of that. But, I think this is going to be a great matchup. Say a couple of state place winners placed at 170. They're actually going lower than that for this match just because they had to go up for the state tournament until we can get all these weights set up. So another fun one there. And then we got another matchup here with Colfax Mingo. Going to get him a third match.
Yeah.
Reoccurring theme. So Katie Schlosser out of Colfax Mingo placed fourth last year at 195. And then again, another Western Iowa girl out of AHSTW.
How many?
You can tell me what
how
that
many letters?
is. 5 letters. I don't think I even know all that.
Aurelia Gal. That's too many.
AHSTW, but
way too many.
Yeah, Bella Canada, place winner last year at 170. Grown a little bit. She's coming up. She's going to take on Schlosser there. So again, couple place winners. Get another Western Iowa girl in there. Just trying to get some good matchups. So another upper weight match. And
Colfax Mingo bringing like the whole. They're going to bring a bus over here or what?
Let's hope so.
Yeah.
Let's hope so.
Well, that's good. I mean, have they been? Do you know if what the practice like? Where are some of these girls practicing? Like, are they in clubs? I mean, I imagine a lot of high schools can't do anything. So
I think
like,
some are in clubs. Some high schools, I think, are having some open rooms, different things going on as well. I know some people have home gyms, wrestling rooms, things like that. So I know just trying to get matches wherever they can. I've seen some of these girls out on social media and stuff just asking, like, where can I come? Where can I go practice? Like, we want to get on the mats. So they're getting into more clubs, different things, and just kind of hungry to wrestle. So nobody's wrestled for a long time.
That's one thing that I was like, man, are are people going to be in shape? Like,
Right.
I
Yeah.
mean, we've been in such a little rut that in wrestling is one of those things where, like, you know, obviously close contact. So I know that, you know, there's obviously things that we can do to prevent them, and hopefully people are testing and taking care of themselves. So, you know, I'm hoping that people are, you know, they're in shape when they come to this thing, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't blame them if they're just dead by the third period. So
I've even asked a few, you know, it's like, hey, I'm looking for a match at this weight. Have you been wrestling? Have you been on the mat? Like,
yeah,
what's your weight like? What's your shape like? Are you ready to wrestle?
I haven't ran into on the so Ross and I are putting the boys card together, right? And I haven't ran into something that's like, most people are like, I'm not ready to cut weight yet, right? They haven't had to. There's no Fargo. There's, you know, there possibility of Super 32. Like, no one's really like getting in competition weight. I mean, some of these guys who aren't wrestling are like 20 pounds over what they're wanting to be in. So, dude, hopefully this just kind of kickstarts people like, hey, okay, let's get back into season shit. I mean, we're a month away.
Yeah, and some of the girls are the same way. You know, they're up a little bit in weight. Some of them are like, you know, we'll cut a little bit just to get back towards wrestling. Some are, you know, just happy where they're at, wanting to do it. So it should be interesting. And then I do have one more match.
Okay.
Might be one of the matches I'm the most excited about. So Janelle Avila, everybody knows Robert, her brother, 2-time state champ. Janelle was a state champ as a freshman last year at 138 pounds, kind of came in, set the world on fire. I know she's been working really hard in the off season. They have a wrestling room right in their house,
garage,
in their
dude.
garage.
They turned the whole garage into something.
They have people there all the time wrestling. You know, their younger brother, Justin's going to be an 8th grader. They have other kids. They've had kids come in from all over the place wrestling with them. So I know Janelle's been working hard. She's real serious about it. And then a new name for all the people here in Iowa. So a couple girls, sisters out of Florida, big background, had a lot of great credentials, transferred into Waverly Shell Rock this season.
Okay.
So one of them's out with an injury, but Madison Diaz, I believe she was a Reno tournament champion.
Wow.
Has some accolades. She's at Waverly now, talking to Coach Whitcomb. She's more than holding her own in that room, which is a 2-time defending state championship team. They have some really good girls back. And it sounds like Madison's right there in the fight with all of them. And she kind of just wanted the best match she could get. So I'm really excited to see exactly what she is. You know what I mean? She hasn't been in Iowa. She's got national credentials. How she stack up with one of the best in Iowa. You know, Avila's going to get after it. She's exciting to watch. So I think this is
hell yeah.
This is a great match to watch. Just kind of excited to see what Diaz has.
Yeah, the unknown of her coming in here, right? I mean, so is that going to be like, do you think that's going to be the main event, or are you looking at Millie Peach probably being the main event? Or?
Probably Millie Peach, but Diaz and Avila is going to be right there. Yeah.
So you went through the card a little bit. So we're now at 12 matches.
We got 11 now, but
okay.
I'm still looking to maybe add one more.
All right. So looking to get 12, 13 matches is the goal here for September 25th. So like I got asked this by a guy out in Sioux City, and he asked on the girl side of things, like, and I don't think we really know, but like what's the significance of the event, I guess, like as a whole? Like if you're a non, like say you're just a casual wrestling fan, you've never seen women's wrestling, like I guess, and we haven't talked about this, but like what's your perspective on like what people should expect as far as atmosphere, as far as the talent wise, what they can see comparative maybe to something they're used to, which is boys wrestling?
Yeah. I mean, significance wise, I mean, you're somebody who follows wrestling like crazy. How many women's girls wrestling events in the state of Iowa can you name?
There's tournaments, but nothing like this, right?
Yeah. I mean, they just don't have that many special events. There's a few. You know, Charlotte Bailey's got an event coming up in Iowa City. There's a few different things going on, but to me, this is huge. I mean, this is something that's all over social media. It's getting hyped. It's a really big opportunity. You know, USA Wrestling's putting out stuff about this event happening. Yeah. You know, there's a lot going on with women's wrestling right now. There's different stories. There's a lot of people saying that they're not getting the respect they deserve. And we've been trying to give it to them. And now we can finally give them their own event. It's grown enough in Iowa, like you say, that we finally have a real good talent pool to pull from. And, I think that as far as quality of wrestling, it's something that's just jumped. You know what I mean? There's always been those few girls that were really good that have come through the ranks. But I feel even from the first IWCOA state tournament 2 years ago to last year, I feel like the talent jumped. You know what I mean? There was you could just tell that some of these girls had a lot of experience or were gaining experience. A lot of them are wrestling with the boys every day in practice, and, they have to get better at technique, different things like that. So I think it's, it just keeps jumping. The talent's getting better and better. I expect that people will be impressed. Okay. I really do. I think some people that haven't watched it will come in thinking, well, it's not going to be as good. It's not going to be the same as a boys event. And really, I think they're going to find that these girls really can wrestle.
Yeah. What do you think makes the event from your standpoint? What makes the event a success? Obviously, I mean, from the revenue side, you want to have tickets, but like deeper thought of like what makes the event a success.
Just people getting excited. I just want people to want to tune in and watch it. You know what I mean? Like, these girls have earned the right to showcase what they have. I think it's a good chance for them to be on center stage in front of everybody. I hope all the people that are getting on to stream it on Saturday night are on to stream it on Friday night, because I think they'll be impressed. And I think if they do, I think we're just going to pick up that much more momentum towards girls wrestling. I think people will get more excited about it, and it'll just keep growing. I think it'll help get more girls out for the sport. I think it'll help get more fans involved in the sport, and, just more opportunities for the girls. And, for some people that don't get excited about the girls, but love wrestling, the more that this grows, I think it's better for the boys too. I mean, it's just more opportunity for everybody, and it's time that the girls get their due, and that people start really paying attention.
So if people don't know, which would be shocking me, but you do the 2A rankings for the boys side of things, and the last couple of years you've really, hey, should we do girls rankings? And then that's kind of taken off a little bit. But you don't have girls.
No, I have two young boys.
You've got two young boys. So for people that don't question, like, why I guess. So like, and maybe and for me too, like, why is this a passion for you when you literally most people say, okay, well, so Matt Waters did some wrestling coverage for us. Well, absolutely. He has Rachel, he's got daughters that are high level wrestlers. So, he's covering wrestling. He's going to the events. Makes sense. You don't have any ties to girls wrestling. West Liberty doesn't have girls wrestling. A lot of, we have some. We have some, but there's not like that. Okay, we have a bunch of, so for people that don't know, like, why?
I just love wrestling, man. Yeah. And I've watched some of these girls compete over the years. I have seen them at tournaments, fighting in the boys divisions at AAU state tournaments and different things. And, I just think that they deserve it. Why not? Like, it's great for everybody. It's great for the sport of wrestling if more girls get the opportunity. And I hope that they all want to do it. I want every boy, every girl in the school to do it at every school.
Hell yeah.
And I do have some family, like, I coach junior high wrestling, and there's a family member, Esmoil, Lainey Esmoil. So everybody knows her brothers. She's really taken into wrestling now. Helped coach her, some other girls in junior high program last year. We do have some girls in the high school program that I know, different things like that. So just watching them get excited about it and grow, and just seeing girls around the state and getting to know, we've really gotten to know like Jason Lloyd and Charlotte Bailey and Josh Park and Jess Philippus and just all these people in sport, Troy Grader, that are just amazing people that have just been fighting and fighting and fighting to grow the sport of, in Iowa. And it's hard.
Yeah.
And we have a platform where we can showcase that, we can put it on social media more. We can give it its own event, just do all these things to help. And if there's any way I can help, I'm here to do it.
Yeah. I love it. 'Cause it's for me, like, from being at the start of, you were at the start of IAwrestle, And we go from covering Iowa Hawkeyes only to, hey, let's do high school rankings, and now it's just progressing to girls ranking, like girls wrestling. You've got rankings, you've got Fab 50 girls ranking,
50 this year.
way too early ranking. So all that stuff is going to come with the pool of girls that are coming in wrestling. So I really like, if you're trying to go girls wrestling right now and we want to put on a stage, like the IWCOA tournament is a whole different animal than what we got going on here. They're like, that's what we want the sanctioned wrestling tournament.
And it's amazing. It's been one of the most fun events I've ever covered over the last couple of years. But
what I think, like what I want to challenge people to is you got to, if you're Gene Berger looking at this stuff, like, okay, are people sharing the tweets? Are they talking about it? How do they come to the event? I'm guaranteed they're looking at that stuff at the state tournament. But a one-off event like that, we have to have people that show up, because then hopefully, guys like out PA Power, they do a boys event. They've got some girls in it. How do we get them to do a girls only event? Minnesota did a Minnesota #1. Okay, this should be a branch offering. There should be lots of events that branch off this. But for like the people that like say, oh well, I just girls wrestling just doesn't have the numbers and blah blah blah. Well, we don't know, but we're gonna do it if hopefully it does. So if people do come out, more things are gonna happen from
Absolutely.
that. Like that's just the beauty of this potential of the event. If it crashes, then it crashes. But like if you want this stuff to succeed, like we just have to have people that come out, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
and even you talk about the state tournament that they had the last couple of years, and it's been amazing. To me, it's just been so much fun to watch it grow. More competition, the girls are getting better, and just the excitement that they don't have that experience. And I know we've talked about it. It almost had a feel of being back in the barn, because all these teams were literally on the side of the mat cheering on their teammates, different things like that, which was just super exciting. And to me, it was, man, if more people could see this, it would grow. But it's not at Wells Fargo. It's not next to the boys. So we have that huge wrestling following in Iowa for the boys that just haven't experienced it yet. And to put it on a stage like this, where it's like, hey, you're coming out to watch the boys anyway, or, who we are, about Night of Conflict, about all our events, different things like that, and giving them that opportunity. It's like, again, people just need to show up. If you really think that this is something that you want to support, that you can get behind, this is the time to do it, because we need to make this successful so we can keep growing it, keep putting them on that stage. And again, why aren't other states doing this? Why aren't other companies doing this? Whatever it might be, we need to showcase girls wrestling, and this is a way to do it.
I love it, man. Well, I appreciate you coming all the way from West Liberty to talk about the event. And, if you're exactly what Lars just said, like, share it, come out, support it. If you can't come out, totally get it. Like right now we're in obviously a weird time. So, I mean, if you can watch it, great, share it, talk about, encourage people to watch it. I'm hoping to see like some watch parties with, family members and whatnot, but kudos to you for putting it together. Pretty excited about it. You can go to nightofconflict.com, go to IAwrestle.com. You can see our Rockfin channel. We've got it in multiple places, but yes, tickets are on sale right now, September 25th. We have 4 VIP tables left and about 30 VIP lounge tickets left. So Friday night, doors are going to open at 4:00. There's a bar up there. So you come out and make a whole weekend of it. Food, everything is going to be right there for you at the arena in Sioux City. But stay tuned to IAwrestle. We got more announcements coming from hopefully a couple more matches on the girls side of things, boys side of things. We're going to be trickling some things out. So we'll have that as well. So for Lars Underbakke, everybody at IAwrestle, I'm Tony Hager, and thanks for watching another edition of Potentially Dangerous.